All right, let's get to some of these players that the Cowboys have been linked to. And this is courtesy of the Cowboys Wire. And they've kind of taken a lot of different sources and compiled this together. But obviously we know about Bijan. Like, if Bijan's there, the Cowboys are going to have interest. He might very well be the pick. I don't believe he's going to be there. I think Bijan's going to be off the board by 26. Some other team, whether it's the Chargers or the Bucs at 19, Seattle, I've heard, could consider him at 20. So I think somebody's going to go ahead and just pluck Bijan, so you don't have to worry about him at 26.
I know Bijan could be the outlier if he was there in theory at 26 because he is such a highly touted prospect.
And he's the only outlier for me.
Correct.
Out of all the running backs. I would not take any other running back in the first round.
But it is fun to see Mike McCarthy in his years in Green Bay, and it was never high pick running backs, and it was never high pick wide receivers. It was always seemingly the offensive line.
Yes.
It was just like, that's another indication of what they very likely will do there. But if Bijan was there, I do think that might be the exception to the rule for them and for him. But yeah, I don't anticipate him being there either. And especially in a world where there's like 14 first round grades. Like, how are you going to pass on a guy who's top 5 on your board, and you're dealing with all second-round graded players at the time you're picking? You're not going to have everybody bypass this guy.
First of all, our Path to the Draft coverage is brought to you by Pluckers and our friends at K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing. Second thing is, I think the grading system's off. You need a grading system where running back can never get above like a first or second round player at other positions other than kicker.
Yeah, well, you don't want to jump tags. You know, we don't want the tag jumping. And if you don't have the intention of taking a running back in the first round, then you need to place him properly. You know, when I've been in these war rooms and we've been battling in the trenches, that's what I'm saying. You know,
window dress
if we're not going to window dress our board here, right? And there's nothing more annoying as a Super Bowl winning scout than, hey, Bijan, you got him as your number one player, but we don't want to take him. Well, why the hell did you do that? Why'd you window dress the board?
That's why you make the big bucks, Krusty.
Would you say this, Dawson? If in a general year, I know there's 31 first-round picks, but in a general year, there's 32. So your running back can never be higher than 33rd on your board.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I like that.
You're not wrong.
You like what I'm saying here?
I do. I like what you're saying with that. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is the apple of my eye out of all the receivers, is another guy that the Cowboys have visited with. I don't think he's getting there. That's a trade-up candidate. I'm not really in favor of trading up for anybody. He'd be the lone guy. If they really say, hey, we want a wide receiver, I'd go up to get him. But I'd just stay put at 26 and not mess with that.
That's like a gas mask, contingency. If something crazy happens with 2 days to go into the draft and this guy's available at 26, we want to know as much about him as possible.
That's what I'm saying, man. Let's try and get a gas mask in there.
That's all fair points, and I think that's something that's been under discussed. Is we make jokes about the gas mask, but now we're living in a deep fake world where on a whim in the middle of a pick selection that could absolutely throw somebody off. Oh my gosh, is that Jackson Smith and Jigba right now? I got 5 minutes to make a selection. I got to determine if this is a damn deep fake or if this is the real Tom Cruise. Looks like the real Tom Cruise every time I see the guy do Tom Cruise.
And I think everybody would probably go back and
can't tell me that's not Tom Cruise.
No, it's him. Like at Cowboys training camp, I thought that was Tom Cruise. Turned out it was a fake. It was a doppelganger, as Chris Arnold would say.
It was one of the deepest fakes I've ever seen in my life.
Unreal. But yeah, maybe we can make that happen. And I think everybody would go back and take Laramie Tunsil instead of passing on him. Gas mask, be damned. The other one.
Hey, was he the highest pick ever taken?
He was supposed to be.
Was that?
He sure freaking was, Lucius. Gosh,
that was like a 4.5.
Give yourself a bond for that.
That was like a 4.5.
No, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, I'm not doing nothing. All right, here we go. Zay Flowers.
What about him?
Surprising that the Cowboys met with him. 5'10". He does not meet the ideal size of what we want for Mike McCarthy and Bryant Schottenheimer. But I'll tell you this, boys. Pound for pound, Zay Flowers could be the best receiver in the class. Wow. Zay's an absolute
But he
animal.
only weighs like what, 170?
He's a $170, man. He's quick, he's shifty, he's really good in space. He's the prototype slot receiver, but I think he's got the ability to win outside. I don't think that he should be pigeonholed into just being a slot-only guy.
But all his 170 pounds are better than the next guy's 170. Like the first 170 is going to Zay every time.
If I could tell you you're getting the next Steve Smith, would you take him?
Yes,
because I think that's probably a good comp for him.
He was great for the Giants and at USC. I love Steve Smith.
Won a bleeping Super Bowl, man. Are you kidding me? I'd take that guy in a heartbeat. Some other guys here. There's two more. Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. Love him. He's my top tight end. And The issue is I think the national scouts are looking at tight end as this massive need for the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys look at this as we think the best pass catchers in this draft are tight ends.
Yeah.
That's why we would take one. It's not that it's a massive need because you have Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot that can get the job done. But can we improve at the position and can we add another playmaker? The best way to do that at 26 might be taking one of these tight ends. And Dalton Kincaid would be number one, but you do have to check out that back.
Yeah, they're waiting to see which one falls to them in the second round. I think
you're going to get a run in the second.
Yeah, been linked to a number of tight ends. I think they're doing it right, but there's so many names that we consider, like, could these guys be late firsts? And a lot of them are going to be around in the mid to late second round.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. I think we're going to get that run. You know, you're going to see these tight ends come off the board. Day two, you know, you were talking about you're able to kind of see who's left. Like we used to see with corners and these other positions come flying off the board, you're going to get a run. There's a tight end at 34. There's a tight end at 38. There's a tight end at 42. And the Cowboys, that might be why they're hardcore considering at 26. If we don't take our guy here, is he making it to 58? My answer would be no. I don't think he would be. They might have to move up if they want to get their guy.
That's why you just trade down from 26 and you get all the picks.
Not a bad play. And then finally, the last guy they're being linked with, and this is a very intriguing prospect for me. I'll tell you what, guys, you're going to like him. Darius Rush, cornerback, South Carolina, 6'2", 2 bills, big dude, long arms, good press corner, great footwork to mirror receivers. He's a converted wide receiver like Trayvon Diggs was.
Wow, so he's like Diggs in that way, but he's a Gamecock like Gilmore.
Absolutely. So you've got that relationship. He's got really good ball skills. He runs routes better than the receiver does at times. He's still raw at the position, so I think his best football is ahead of him. But that is a very intriguing player that has the size, the length that Dan Quinn likes and could be very intriguing for the Cowboys.
You just have to ask yourself if there's enough room in the secondary for two Gamecocks.
I'll tell you what, you're not wrong.